What I'd like the coalition government to do is to do what it says it does, which is to base its policy on evidence. Unfortunately, when it comes to drugs policy, what we have here really is an evidence-free zone. There's been no real attempt to look at the evidence of drugs policy, no attempt to have, for example, an impact assessment of the 1971 Misuse of Drugs Act, no attempt to see whether money is well spent through having a cost-benefit analysis of that policy, to see whether or not that policy is working better than a range of other alternatives might. The 1971 Misuse of Drugs Act is absolutely central to this whole debate. And it's that act which criminalises drugs possession, drugs use, drugs trade and so forth, and which in turn has made it so difficult, for example, for people who have a drug addiction to get the help that they need for fear of being criminalised. It's meant that we haven't been able to properly educate our kids about drugs use. It's really ironic if you think about alcohol. You know, we wouldn't dream of sending our kids to try and buy alcohol at the back of a pub from unmarked bottles. And yet, in a sense, that's what this current act is doing. It's handed the whole drugs trade over to criminals. It's massively inflated prices. It really has been bad news when it comes to reducing harms associated with drugs policy. I think one of the key reasons for undertaking a cost-benefit analysis now of drugs policy is that at a time of austerity, when there are cuts coming to all kinds of different budgets, to be pursuing a policy that means that you're spending billions of pounds without knowing whether or not it's effective is incredibly irresponsible. What I would love the public to do would be to go onto the government's petition website and to sign up to the petition that they will find there, which is calling for this impact assessment, this cost-benefit analysis of drugs policy. And if we get 100,000 people to do that, that means that it will be very likely to trigger a debate on the floor of the House of Commons. That means that this issue will be on the agenda paper of every MP. And I think that gives us our best chance yet of really being able to take this whole debate further.